Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, sorry about that. Okay, thank you for being here. My name is Holly. I'm a psychic medium, and I use oracle and tarot decks and just affirmation cards for the collective for a general reading. This is a general reading. That's all I can do in this format, and so if something resonates, feel free to take it. And if none of it resonates, well, then maybe the next time it will. Or maybe it will later. You never know. Energy currents, everybody's on their own timeline with it. Some people like tend to be, well, anyway, timelines are different for different people. That's just, I would get into that and digress for 40 minutes and take up the whole video. Okay. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you are so inclined, and if not, that's okay too. All right, let's just get into this because today the energy is very different. Starting off, the energy today is, I feel like there's a very high frequency happening, kind of like the buzzing in the ears, all of that. And the first mug I pulled out, first two I pulled out, had dragonflies on them because I love dragonflies. And they're strong. I mean, they can kill wasps, and they're beautiful and they're ethereal and they're wonderful and they just make me feel so good. But I kept thinking, no, I need this one today. And I think this is for the collective too, because this is part of the message that always comes through. She believed she could, so she did. You know what? Don't let anything or anyone keep you down. Don't let anyone or anything tell you your worth or who you are. Those are just going to play on a loop like an old message from your childhood. Get rid of them, purge them, look at them, and just truly objectively, without looking at it through the lens of your wounded little self that you were when you were a child. And we've all got that in some level and in some way. If somebody is giving you negative messages today, look at them objectively, almost as if you're standing outside watching the whole thing happen, and understand where that's coming from, because it really has nothing to do with you. Imagine that person as a little kid going on a rant, and all of a sudden it will start to make a little more sense. Now, that doesn't mean you have to take it. That doesn't mean you have to accept it. And that doesn't mean you have to try to heal that person. Everybody's got to do their own work. You can be in whatever, because it depends on the situation too, how you respond. But just remember, be the healed one in the situation. And that's the message I'm getting. And that goes for me too, because I feel like for not everybody, but for a few of you, and potentially me, I think I might be wrapped up in this one with this part of the reading. I feel like there's someone up to no good. You know what I mean? Just kind of that, even if it's a negative thought form being directed at you, you can still feel it, I don't feel like anyone is plotting anything big because, one, I don't think they're that smart. I mean, I'm not trying to be catty or weird, but I really don't. I think there's some other issues getting in the way of their mix of bad attitude. And so don't worry about it. Just call your protection team in. You don't have to do any kind of, I'm hearing the word rebuttal. Okay. So don't worry about a rebuttal. Just stand in your light, stand in your power, stand in what you know to be true, and take the high road. Wayne Dyer always said, take the high road. There's less traffic up there. And sometimes that's great, and I love that, and I try really hard. Sometimes you just got to say, no, I'm not taking that. But that is kind of taking the high road because you're not slinging back, Spirit is showing me the image of if someone is taking something really stinky, we'll put it that way, or we'll call it trash. We'll just say trash or rotten eggs. If someone is throwing rotten eggs in your direction, you're not going to pick up the rotten eggs to throw them back. Otherwise, you just smell bad too. You're going to walk around it and get away from it and say, that's all right. You can smell like rotten eggs all by yourself over there. I'm going to go do something else with people who don't want to live that life. So, just be aware. Not everybody has the best of intentions, and I do feel like someone is starting to reap what they were sowing. So be aware and just let it go. Let it go, walk away. You remember you've got good things coming to you. All right. Let them wallow in whatever stew they have cooked. Okay. It's up to them to find their own way. And you can lead by example, but you don't have to go to the rescue for someone who wants to drag you down. They're showing me like an ocean and a lifeguard. Sometimes lifeguards have to just, well, and I'm not using it as an example. Oh, this one opened up right away. I'll show you what this is in a second. But, you know, sometimes when you're trying to save a drowning person, they will drown you too. They will drag you right down to the bottom of the water. So you got to be really careful how you go about things. And you know what? Maybe you're not meant to be the lifeguard for that person. You can throw them a life vest and say, you know, there you go. You know how to do this. And I'm not saying walk away from a drowning person, but I am saying don't let them take you with them. Okay? Because some people never want to change. All right. So what I am using, and that was a heavy, heavy message. So we're going to see what comes up next. Because I feel like as soon as you make peace with something, the good stuff comes in. All right. So I'm using Spirit Messages, Oracle cards. Inspiring messages bring you comfort. Okay. And so they're actually just written right on the card. And when I was shuffling, it opened up to the middle and this one came out. See the messages right on it. Okay. Find ways to fill your cup. Be self-full. So you're not relying on validation or anything from anyone else. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within, find your triggers, and address them one by one. And that doesn't mean they're going good. Triggers are, they have a way of popping back up. So don't beat yourself up if they do. Sometimes when you think you've put something to rest, and here it comes right back up again. But you know what? That's okay because you recognize it now. You recognize it and you know how to deal with it. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. So don't believe those negative messages. I'm telling you, don't believe the negative messages. That's a way of manipulation and control. Words hold power. Thank you. So they're giving me they keep giving me examples and what to say and this, that, and the other. So it's not me just rambling off the top of my head. When I said words have power, it was like this needs to be driven home a little bit more with an example. So if someone says, you're mean, you're ugly, I hate you. How does that make you feel? That makes you feel, oh my gosh. Or that passive aggressive, oh, that's a nice dress. Is that the only one you had to wear today? Yeah, well, screw you. No, that's not a feel-good statement. When someone says, you look so happy and beautiful, keep doing what you're doing. And you know they mean it. They're not being passive-aggressive or anything. How does that make you feel? If someone says, I love you, how does that make you feel? It changes the entire vibration. Words have power, and that's what they wanted me to say. Words absolutely have power because they tap in to our personal database of memories and thoughts and triggers, the happy and the negative, or the things we never received. Sometimes when someone does something nice for you and you're having a rough day or a rough time and someone goes out of their way and does something nice, sometimes it starts an avalanche of tears because you just fall apart. And it's like they don't know what to do because they're like, I thought it was being nice. I just wanted to say something nice to you. And you're like, it was so nice. And then you just can't, I've done it. And then I have to laugh at myself because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's sort of like the kindness, that little bit of kindness offered is enough to, But after the good, hard cry, you're so grateful. And it changes your vibration because you had to have that release. And I know a whole lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just that act of kindness when you just felt like there was no kindness around you. And instead of making you smile initially, it does later. You just let the floodgates go. And it's okay. It is okay to do that. And I definitely have done it a lot. All right, so then shuffling this card. Keep moving forward, even if you are unsure of your next step or where it might take you. Trust that you are walking the path you are meant to walk. Remember, we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. And that's a spirit message. So, and also there are people in this group walking it with you. I can't tell you how much I enjoy seeing messages from you guys to other people. You know, it helps people to not feel alone because sometimes this is a lonely world. You know what? All right, trust yourself more. Trust yourself more. Remember that. You know what you need to know, and everything you need is within you. All right, the next one I'm going to do, I haven't used this in a long time, the Career and Life Oracle deck. Functions much the same way. The messages are fully expressed and printed on the back of the card. Only this one has a picture with it, an image. So, Spirit Guides and Guardians, what is the message for the collective for those who are asking about career and life? They want me just to do the one. Ooh, this one just came sliding out of the bottom. All right, this is the card. And that looks like a very singular path, but that's okay. Progress. It seems like a long slog, but your efforts will pay off soon. Stay on course for at least a few more months before making a change. Man, I know that's hard to hear. Months might sound like an eternity. But right now you're in a desert. You feel like you're walking alone. And you have no idea how long you can do this. Parched, thirsty, but you are making progress. Every step you take takes you. Okay, so like when I was in first grade, I had a teacher. Her name was Miss Mullins, and I loved that woman so much. She was probably then, I mean, she was a brand new teacher. So looking back, she seemed like an older woman, you know, a grown-up, and first grade. But she was just feeling her feet as a new teacher. And so I remember one time we went on a field trip to the zoo. And we were so tired, and that bus seemed so far away. And she had us walk and had us stop. And she told everyone, just stop where you are, and I turn around. And we were like 2 steps ahead of where we were before. And like, yeah, well. She said, every step you take takes you closer to where you're going to be. And so she didn't say anything else. And then we walked, you know, like 10 or 12 steps up. And she said, all right, everyone stop. Now turn around. Do you see how much further we've come? Every single step did that, one step at a time. And then she just turned us around, had to keep right on going. And then she didn't do anything for a little while. And then when we were about halfway there, she said, stop and turn around. And we did. And some kids were like, yeah, but I'm tired, and still complaining. And I remember that moment because I thought, she's right. Every step counts. Every step matters. I, to this day, count her as one of my greatest influences. That was a long time ago. So, anyway, thank you, Mrs. Mullins, or Ms. Mullins. I don't know if she ever married. Ms. Mullins, thank you. Thank you for being you and being an influence. All right, let me get a drink, and then we'll move on to some more. All right, so I'm going to do these fairly quickly. This is the Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. And we're going to do a quick pull to kind of either set the tone for the rest of the reading, or get, and they're saying right off the top, no, yes, what is this? Oh, nature's signs. These are badgers. Badgers can be ferocious even though they're not very big. They contain a lot of power, but, you know, if you don't need it, you don't need it. Oh, this writing is small. Good thing I brought my glasses out. Okay. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need only open our hearts and minds. Okay, that is important. You may not know where this is coming from. So like if somebody is being negative, we'll just say negative. If someone is being negative, and it's not someone in your absolute tightest inner circle, it's someone in the periphery. So if someone is being negative, you may never even hear about it, but you'll feel it. So if you feel a little off center or you feel something that's not quite right, look for signs and synchronicities. Ask your team to come in and protect you. Ask your guides to help you to understand what's going on. Or better yet, since it's nothing really about you, it's about that person and their insecurities, ask your spirit team to take away from you, shield, block, and protect you, and take away any of these uncomfortable feelings you have that really are not yours to begin with, okay? They're really not yours to begin with. So ask them, in the process of shielding and protecting me, please remove things that aren't mine. And it doesn't have to go back to the sender. Just remove it and dispose of it. They have the ability and power to do that. Because, you know, whomever is in such a negative mind space that they want to send negativity in the form of thoughts or words or whatever to you, or energy, then, you know, hopefully they'll heal, and they're not going to heal if we keep sending stuff back to them. So ask for any negativity around you or directed toward you to be transmuted into something positive, to turn that energy into a positive energy, to heal the earth or to heal the world or heal people around us. Spirit has amazing abilities. We just have to ask them to do things. That's a miracle is a miracle for a reason. We just have to ask sometimes for that healing or that help. For the person sending the negativity, you don't have to do a thing, but if you feel so moved to do so, also ask Spirit to reach out to their teams, to their guides, or to help that person heal and grow and become someone who knows how to stand in their own light. Okay, so the card that came out, and this will be the last one for this deck. This is so beautiful. I don't think I've seen this one in here before. There's a rainbow, there's a dove of peace, and this beautiful little fairy. And she has wings in the clip on the back of her hair, and wings on her back, of course. But hope is always there. The card is hope. I'll show it to you in a second. Hope is always there, even if we can't see it. That's kind of what I was talking about. Even if you don't see it or know exactly where it's coming from, it doesn't matter, because don't give it that energy. Don't expend your energy trying to figure it out. Just say, it's gone. Transmute it, change it. Guides come in, take care of it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. Well, thank you for validation, Spirit. That was pretty much everything we just said. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. All right. Thank you. I love that. Okay. And we're going to do one. This is like a bunch of different card decks today. All right. The Energy and Spirit Oracle. We're going to do one or two or three from this deck. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, is this going to be for the same part of the collective, or is this another part of the collective? I don't know yet. I guess we'll see. Oh, interesting. It opened up and they said, take it. Emotional desert. That almost looks like that career card, doesn't it? Inactivity and isolation. It might feel like there's no progress, but you are being directed. There is a light and there is an oasis over here. Okay? Card 11. That's important too. That's a master number in numerology. People with an 11 life path are very often, they face hardships. They very often don't have easy lives. However, people with an 11 life path, they do tend to be loners and they do tend to be alone a lot. But when that light shines, it shines brightly. And there is something bigger that you're meant to do. And it could be whether it's touching one person's life or a million people's lives. It is, you are here with a mission to evolve. And even if it's not for this lifetime, it might be for the next. And that's part of the trial and tribulations. I wasn't sure whether to say this or not, but that's my light. I'm an 11. So it's one of my numbers. So yeah. Okay. And then on the bottom, card 15, Archangel Haniel, joy, blessings, and intuition. Call on Haniel today. Archangel Haniel is the archangel of, well, just what the card said, joy, compassion, beauty within and without, but within, beauty within, the joy that we feel. Because when you're beautiful within, we don't need another one from this deck. When you have that beauty within, it radiates outward. Sometimes the most beautiful people turn out to be the ugliest because they're so corrupted inside. You know, we've all known that, met that, seen it. Call on Haniel today. Let's see if she has a message. I was going to do the Pulp Tarot next, but I feel like we're being nudged in that direction. It's a very different type of message or series of messages today. Archangel Haniel. I keep hearing the word precious. Are you going to step in? Will you step in? The glow that surrounds you, known as the aura, the glow that surrounds you, let it be as bright as possible. Do not concern yourself with the color or what it means. Right now, from within and call from without. Let your energy, let your aura be that of the brightest golden and white light. You are surrounded by golden light. You are surrounded by white light. You are surrounded by the heart light of love of the Creator, love of all that is. We come as emissaries, ambassadors of the Creator. We are all part of this divinity, as are you. Even the ones that she speaks of with the negative intent. They are so sad. There is a sadness, and we try and we work with them all of the time, constantly. As with the freedom that you have, each and every one of you, even though you are connected, you hear the cry and the pain of others, you are still very individual in your energy and the spark that makes you unique, yet you are still all connected to the whole, to each other. That is why you are aware of the energy patterns and currents. That's why you are aware of when someone is having a positive or, as it is felt, negative thought directed toward you. You are, in truth, feeling their sadness. You are feeling their sadness. And when you are happy and bright and in this golden orb of light, it makes them feel lost. This is no burden of yours. It is even more important that you continue to radiate this glowing light. It is at the most critical point that you should radiate this light. And through the connection of all beings on this planet, in this place, in this time, it is with that interconnectedness that they may heal or begin the healing process, because they feel your light. Your light is our light. Our light is the light of the God. Our light together brings peace and healing. We all come from the same source. We all come from the same place. Many have just forgotten. Any small differences are just that, small differences. Even through different universes and galaxies and places and the outward appearance, the inner light and inner brilliance comes from the same source. There are those who choose not to acknowledge this light. That is for us to deal with and handle. Be the light being you are. You are the purest essence of love, which is the highest vibration we can offer you and you can feel within yourself. And when you let that radiate outward, that is when there is peace within you and without. Call on us today to walk with you. I am Haniel. That is what you may call me. I am known as many things. That is what you may call me. And I will be with you. I could see all kinds of things while she was talking, and I'm saying she because it felt a very strong energy, but to help me best describe, the gender is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. There was masculine and feminine all together in there. It was like the overlapping of circles, two circles, but then the one where the two circles come together, they form another one in the middle where they overlap. That is that connection that was being talked about. You are never alone. You are never alone. Okay, I'm going to end it there. I hope you feel as good as I do. That was a true gift. And I can't wait. I'm going to upload this right now, and I can't wait to go back and watch it because it's starting to get a little fuzzy in my head. So I need to go back and watch it so I get the full message. But I've got the feeling of it in my chest. Just feels like it's so full. Whew. And I feel really floaty, so I need to ground. Yeah. Oh, but I'm just going to sit in this beautiful energy for another minute. I am sending so much love to you all. Thank you so much. We are all going to be okay. All right, I got to go. Or I'm going to just sit here and I might start drooling. I don't know. All right. Have a really good day and be kind to yourself. Do something wonderful for yourself. All right, everybody. Take care.